All right, so how about this? We know you played in the Pac-12 or Pac-10.
Yes.
We're a fan of the Pac-12.
Well, we dominated the Pac-10.
Sure. 3 Rose Bowls,
Yes.
hard to argue otherwise. They're in the Big Ten now. Washington,
Yes.
SC, UCLA, Oregon. Okay, whatever. The whole realignment thing has gone haywire. I think the Big Ten has 18 teams. The SEC, I think, has roughly the same. They're getting together. I picture them in like an underground bunker on this long table with like the commissioner of the SEC on one side, the commissioner on the Big Ten on the other.
Oh,
and
it's a sit down.
They're not, but like in a hey, we're going to sit down and we're going to take the rest of these fools out.
It's a
like
sit down.
why don't we get together and do this? Then the Big Ten and SEC athletic directors will discuss a possible partnership in football scheduling along with their preferences for automatic bids in the next iteration of the college football playoffs.
And it's Greg Sankey and Tony Pettetti.
Okay. What they want.
That's a sit down.
They want 4 bids for the Big Ten, and they want 4 bids for the SEC. That's what it appears they're asking.
8
of the 12.
8 of the 12.
4 autos in the Big Ten, 4 autos in the SEC.
And then the winner of the ACC, the winner of the Big 12, and then the other 2 to whomever.
Well, I guess what I'm getting at is why go to this interim step? Like, why not? Let's just go all the way. Let's have 2 conferences.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have the Big Ten and the SEC. Call them whatever you want. I don't even care what the name is anymore because the SEC,
How about
Southeast,
East and West?
East, West, North,
Like the
South,
Shrine
Blue,
game.
Gray.
Like
call it whatever you want.
Yes. East
call
and
it
West,
whatever you
North
want.
and South. Yes.
Yeah, great. And have a playoff. You qualify based on where you finish in these 2 divisions, these 2 leagues. That we're going to have a 14 team or a 12 team or an 18 team. I don't even really care. Once you have more than 2 or 4, I think all the all the guardrails
that
are
seems
off.
to be where we're headed.
So
Yes.
why go to the interim? Do we really need to accommodate Tulane and South Florida and San Jose State? Like, do we really need to pretend that they're in the mix? They're never going to be in this thing anyway.
I think you're playing for the miracle. Every now and then they up jump and they're undefeated.
Okay,
there's
but
an undefeated Boise.
But sure,
Yes.
undefeated Boise. Let's use that
There's
as
an
the
undefeated
example.
Boise, and everybody makes noise because we all like that story.
And so put them in one of the super heavyweight divisions, and if they can get through it, playing against the other heavyweights, cool.
But they can't.
That's my point.
Yes.
So why
shouldn't be there.
It's like weight divisions in boxing.
I agree with you. They used to call me a college football elitist. I kept telling people, I don't care if Boise's undefeated.
Neither do
they
I.
don't play anybody.
It's
you put them in the pack, you put them in the big, whatever. They're not undefeated. But they're undefeated. They deserve a spot.
Yeah. Welterweights don't fight heavyweights.
Yes.
There's a reason for that.
Yes.
Because they will get demolished.
You're out of your league.
Right.
Yes, I totally agree.
And that's where we're going with this, right? Because and I'm not saying that teams can't drop out or move in. I don't know if it's relegation or something like that, because I think you're going to have certain schools, probably more academically, let's use Cal or Stanford or UCLA or Georgia Tech, these places that Duke, that aren't operating on that level, that are just like, you know what?
We're out.
We'll have a soccer team. We'll
That's
swim.
a huge part of the revenue, though. Football brings in a lot of money for a lot of schools.
But you also don't have to fund a football team
True,
anymore.
but they depend.
Have you seen how many people go to those Stanford games lately? There's nobody there.
And Title IX will come into this, too.
Yeah.
If you're losing 53-plus spots, then it has to be balanced.
So you have to lose 53 spots on the women's
I
sports?
think maybe I'm misinterpreting
that's
Title
not gonna
IX.
happen.
But
You can massage these things.
I got you.
You can figure out a way to satisfy Title IX, to satisfy and again, I understand that Stanford probably funds, and I'm using Stanford because it's an academic place.
Yeah.
Like, I think UCLA is a fascinating one. UCLA clearly doesn't give a damn about football. Clearly.
I don't think they have for a while.
I agree with you.
I still think they care. I think they've just been down for so long.
They've been down a long time.
I thought they put a lot of stock in Chip Kelly, and he left them hanging.
But he wasn't there for a year or two. It never really hit. Their facilities are bad.
Yeah.
They just and the crazy
thing
thing
is,
is,
a couple of bad hires.
they're good at everything else.
Yes,
they're really good
but
at almost everything.
They were good at football.
Briefly,
I think they've had a few bad hires.
The last time they were really good was Terry Donahue.
Donahue was good, and I thought
that was the '80s. DeMarco, that was 40 years ago.
Cade McNown had a nice little run.
That was Bob Toledo, but that was a little. Everybody pops.
It popped for a minute, and then UCLA or USC kind of starved them out. But I think they care. I think they've had a few bad hires, but
I think they care about basketball, and the rest of it is. I guess we got to have a team.
If you freeze out every small conference or the ACC or whatever's left out of the Big Ten, like the Big 12,
yeah,
I think you're going to ruin the sport.
Why?
Because part of it is hope. Part of it is.
No, I'm not saying they can't have a football team. You're just not. You're AAA.
But part of it is, if we go undefeated, we might have a right to get in the playoffs.
Like you just said, though, that you didn't go You didn't go undefeated.
I know. You know it's a waste of time
in the right league. And I'm not saying that take Utah out of the Big 12, take Clemson or Florida State or Miami.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that if you're not in now, you can't be in. But clearly, the Big 10 and the SEC are going to own all of it. They're going to take what they want.
Yeah.
They're going to leave what they don't want.
Does that bear out, though? Has there been 8 SEC, a combo of Big 10 and SEC? Is there always the top 8 that's at the top?
If you look at the top 10,
it's been that way for years.
It's basically 8 of those teams are there. Sometimes
Every
it's 7-3, 6-4, whatever it is. And Notre Dame will be in there. And there are exceptions that you could carve out, but this just feels they're getting paid. They're traveling the country. They have free agency.
Yes.
What are we doing?
Let me read you right now the top 10 in the college football. So Alabama,
ding.
SEC, Texas,
ding.
Ohio State,
ding.
Tennessee,
ding.
Georgia,
ding.
Oregon,
ding.
Penn State,
ding.
Miami, no, Missouri,
ding. 9 of
Michigan,
the top 10.
No, Michigan.
Michigan.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And
that makes
again,
sense.
Another one.
Yeah.
So it's literally only one of the top 10 is not a Big 10 or SEC.
I am not in favor of starving out the little guy. What I would say is increase the playoff. Go from 12 to 16. If they're going to take 8, then give us 8 from the other side.
You really want to watch that?
There's 109 or 119 D1 schools.
Something like that. Do you really? Because here's okay. Let's
if you're
say
going to give them 8 of 12, that's not fair.
Give first round buys,
even if it's right.
Give first round buys. Okay, so Texas and Alabama and Georgia and Ohio State, they get a buy. They don't even play. So we're gonna winnow it down through the rest of these guys. Let's say you're Oregon or SC, or let's say last year with Washington, you're just outside of the top 4. You're like, say you're 5 or 6, but you got to play. Now I got to go play UTEP. They ran the table in their little JV league over there, and I got to go play them. And I got to go play them and get one of my guys hurt, a team that has no chance to run their way through. I have a chance to run my way through this thing.
It's an exercise. I get you. Right.
Yes. You're penalizing me because you want a cute little story over here.
But it is UTEP.
So my point is UTEP should go have a tournament with San Jose State and Tulsa and Tulane. Go over there. Go do your thing.
But UTEP can up and beat whoever, and then
But they'll be AA instead of AAA in minor league baseball.
That's what I'm saying. They don't just because you win 140 games in AA, you don't get to go play the Yankees.
That'd be fun, though.
No, for who?
It would be 20-0.
Yeah,
for us it would be fun. And imagine if they beat the Yankees.
But they wouldn't beat the Yankees.
What if they did?
They wouldn't, and it's a waste of everybody's time. And what could happen is Aaron Judge breaks his ankle chasing a ball.
Well, you know what I always: if you don't like it, play better. Then avoid them. Get the bye.
No, give me the best. Let's do a tournament, and then if you're in the tournament, you should have a chance to win the tournament.
They're right. They are totally right. I'm with them, but you can't starve out the little guy because you're not the little guy.
Padres look pretty